But we do want to give you some information on Destination Iowa State, being a team leader here. And so you can see just the excitement in the tunnels, coming out and meeting your team and your team leader. It's a really exciting experience, and it's something that's so unique to Iowa State. And so you can be a part of this. So if you're not looking at the cycle A position, you might be looking at the team leader position, a little bit less in terms of time commitment and things like that. And so we'll go over that here a little bit. So first of all, what are team leaders? So these leaders are leaders of small groups of incoming students. And so they'll come in, they're ready to go for the first day of class, but they might not know where any of the classes are, things like that. And they want to come to Destination Iowa State to learn a little bit about Iowa State. And you get to be that welcoming face. And so you get to welcome them to Iowa State, teach them the ways and the things that they need to know. We can only share so much at orientation, but this is when it's just the students. Mom and dad have dropped them off, and so they are ready to experience college, and we help them kind of get started. And so we hire lots and lots of team leaders to help out with this giant event. And so you do get to collaborate with other team leaders as well. We see it all the time where team leaders will combine teams for different events and things like that, working with more students. And it's really a cool, impactful experience for those incoming students. And you get to be that person. A lot of students, and I can ask the panelists as well here in a second, in terms of remembering who their team leader was and that experience. And you remember those types of things. So it's a really cool impact that you get to have. And again, just being those positive representatives of Iowa State and just being that welcoming face. And so that's really what it boils down to. And so in terms of those position details, Destination Iowa State is always the Thursday through Saturday before school starts. That has not been determined for the new school year quite yet. But whenever that is, it'll be the Thursday through Saturday before school starts. Training for Destination Iowa State team leaders will be the Wednesday before the event. And so how that'll look will be announced a little bit later. But in terms of that, you can plan on having some training on that Wednesday, and then those 3 days working with your students. In terms of pay for this year, pay will also be $10 an hour. You can expect to have 30 to 40 hours with your team over that time frame. There, especially during those 3 days is when a lot of that will happen. So you'll be going to different events, checking in and all that kind of stuff, and just having a lot of fun, honestly. And so you get to do a lot of those different events. And what's going to be really great this year is we are working through Workday. So that means faster payment for all of our team leaders. So you can get that money right away and spend it on whatever you got going on, maybe books, the appropriate thing to be buying and things like that. So you can get that payment a little bit quicker this year as well. So we're very excited to have that update for you in terms of those position details. So if you are returning as a Destination Iowa State team leader, you can look forward to that. In terms of the applications for team leaders, those are due on March 31st, so a little bit longer of a timeline here. So you do have some time to think about it. That's due at 11:59 on that night. So that's just a cool picture there to kind of show you the massive event that this is. It's quite the undertaking, and we need lots of help. So if you're looking at being a team leader, we want you part of the team. It's really, really a fun experience. And these are just a few of those photos of our team leaders welcoming those students, the classic red bags that they get for those incoming students and joining their team. And so really, really cool, impactful experience. And let's bring back in our panelists here. And so I'm going to start with Blair just because she's had that experience. First, can you just tell me about your experience as a team leader? When were you a team leader? And what was it like to have a team underneath you?
So I've been a team leader for 2 years. I was a team leader back in 2018 and 2019. It was just really fun and just to do. Back my first year, yes, it was when it started pouring down rain, so we had like last minute move everything in. That was kind of interesting how that worked out, but everything worked out, so that was nice. It was just a really fun experience. It's very you get really pumped up the first day to do the activities with your students, and it's just a really fun experience.
Why was being a team leader at DIS important for you, Blair?
Um, I think it was really important just to welcome. It's like the first time that freshmen or transfer students actually step on campus by themselves without their parents. Some of them may not know anybody, so it's a great opportunity to make friends. For me, instance, I didn't know anybody, and my roommate actually did EIS with me, so it was a great time for us to bond and get to know each other for the first weekend before classes started.
Absolutely. And you did it multiple years, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. So a question I think a lot of people are going to have is they're going to say, well, I've never held a leadership position before. So should I be applying for either position really? So could each of you kind of touch on just a little bit about what you would say to a student that says, I've never had a leadership position before? Like, am I cut out for this? Like, am I going to succeed in this role?
I would say always try to apply to leadership positions, no matter what it is, even if it's just a small part, because you will never know. Like, I didn't think I would be a good leader because I was quiet and stuff, but like when I became a DIS leader, it helped me to like open up and be more outgoing.
I would personally 100% recommend it. I never really had a leadership position before at ISU, and it kind of gave me just a chance to grow into the leader that I always wanted to be, and to kind of also find more leadership positions after being a Cyclone aide. So I would 100% give it a chance.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend you apply. The positions are looking for, people with all different kinds of experience, not just one type of leader who's done all this stuff. And even, experiences in group projects and the, role that you played in that can also help with being a leader.
Absolutely. And so I'll go back to Blair on this one. So what kind of impact do you think, you've done this for multiple years, what kind of impact do you think you've had on those students that you got to help and welcome to Iowa State?
I feel like I've helped them like get comfortable on campus. During my second year, I had some people that were not from the Midwest at all. One was from California and one was from the East Coast. So they were kind of like didn't know what like Iowa was all about and stuff. And I think I really got them comfortable to campus that first weekend. And I just think it's like a great opportunity.
Perfect. I want to bring back in the Cyclone aides here for a minute. So your role in terms of Cyclone aide is to support these team leaders, kind of be a mentor for them. You two got to do that a little bit and talked about being able to interact with team leaders, even really your other Cyclone aides as well. But just talk about kind of having that leadership and any sort of really mentorship role is how important that is.
I personally think that kind of mentoring and looking after the team leaders was just kind of one of those things where you kind of just work together and you work with other Cyclone aides to make it the best experience possible.
Yeah, and show your enthusiasm, show interest, and bring all that together for everyone.
Awesome. Blair, if you had to pick your favorite event from Destination Iowa State to be a part of as a team leader, what would it be?
Probably the pancakes in the morning. One, you get food, but it's also a lot of music and games going on, and you can win prizes. It's just a lot of fun, especially like early in the morning when you don't want to be awake. It really wakes you up.
Absolutely. It's really unique experience, something that's very different at Iowa State compared to pretty much anywhere else you go. It's just kind of these big events for our new students and stuff like that. Blair, can you kind of explain what it's like? We're seeing a lot of these pictures here from the first kickoff, the picnic kickoff and stuff. Can you kind of explain what it's like to be in this kind of massive operation and being a part of that and helping with that day?
Yeah, so it might seem like overwhelming because there's so many people and stuff, but like once you get your group and stuff, it kind of calms down a little bit, but it's just super fun. Just being just a little part of a big thing overall is really nice to know.
Perfect. All right, my final question, I'll go to all three of you here. So if you had some advice for students going through either the Cyclone Aid interview process or the team leader interview process, what piece of advice would you have for them? We'll start with Blair.
For the DIS interview, I'd just say just relax. It's pretty laid back. There's nothing really to stress about. Just be yourself.
Yeah, for the Cyclone Aid position, they really just want to see your authentic self. And personally, I think being vulnerable is a great attribute to it too. Like personally, because I was a transfer student, I could really talk about what it meant to me to be welcome to the university and how I really wanted to help people coming to the university, and new and transfer students also. So just be your true self.
My advice would be to really show your enthusiasm for Iowa State, and also think back to your orientation or destination Iowa State experience and how you felt and how you might be a leader in those positions and what you would say to students and families.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, all three of you, for helping out and giving your experiences and things like that. We're looking for those positive role models and up and coming leaders as well. This could definitely be your first leadership experience. It could be your fourth. It's a really cool opportunity, both of these, to help out at Iowa State. And those applications are open right now. So you are able to go in and apply for both these. They're both on the same website. So it's admissions.iostate.edu/leaders there. So you can click on that. If you go to the admissions website, you'll be able to find it as well. But that's kind of the direct link for you. To remind you, Cyclone Aid applications are due on the 21st of February, 11:59. And then the team leader applications are due on the 31st of March at 11:59, so a little bit longer there. So if you're thinking about either one of these positions, we highly recommend taking a look at it, taking a look at the answers that everyone gave here today, and just kind of getting that experience. You can obviously talk to folks that have done these positions. We've hired hundreds of team leaders and lots of Cyclone Aids as well. It's a really cool, impactful opportunity, a really great leadership opportunity for you as well. So we're looking forward to seeing all of your applications. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see your applications soon, and go Cyclones.